Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome to The Obsession. My wife and I are down at the Triple B. Gonna start a new project here. So I've got a bunch of hybrid popples, about 100 of them. I'm actually gonna use them to make some habitat pockets in here. I also have some spruce trees that I purchased. They only had a certain amount of the ones I bought, 4-footers. So I bought 10 of them, that's all they had left. But we're gonna utilize some of the structure we have here, some of the pines that are already growing here, some of the white pines that are actually up, well, anywhere between 2 feet and 10 feet, I guess. So you guys can see we're just above the jankety plot. We had put some fruit trees, 2 fruit trees in up here, fenced them off last year. We have switch in here also. It's pretty good down on the east end of it, but it gets weak in the middle, kind of comes back a little bit to the west. We're probably going to end up putting some more switch in. Purchased some switch grass, Cave Rock from Northwoods Whitetails, John Comp. So we're going to be using his seed this year. So we'll show you guys that. That'll be a project here coming up in the next couple of weeks. But for today, we're going to be putting in these habitat pockets with these hybrid popples. Probably going to put about 10 or 12 trees in each smaller circle. We are going to utilize some of the pines that are here currently. I'm going to go 4 groups across, 3 groups above that. That'll be 70 trees. That'll leave us 30 trees left over that I'm probably going to add to this tree line that Mike and Kathy and I did last year. You guys seen us put that in last year. These popples are supposed to go, they say, up to 1 inch in girth a year, depending on the soil. Also 2 to 4 feet in height every year. I think that'll depend on whether the deer hit them or chew on them or rub on them or do anything like that. But we're going to emphasize this tree line also. So that tree line is box elders and honeysuckle. The deer used it last year. Actually, the buck I shot, the 8-pointer I shot with a rifle this year, came by my brother-in-law and I on this tree line utilizing this edge that we created. So in 1 year's time, we had deer utilizing that particular tree line and that movement east-west. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to help emphasize that. These habitat pockets, I want to say in 2 to 3 years, if the trees grow correctly, we'll be having does bed in them for the summertime. Also fawning in them. It'll help hold them down closer to the food and give us more space for bucks in the future up the ridge. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Stick around. All right, guys. So we started doing our pockets already, putting 10 trees per pocket. This particular one's going to be a little bit bigger because if you look behind me, you can see there's a couple pines that are right here, white pines. We're going to utilize those. We're actually going to add, there might be 10 or 15 trees in this particular spot. Just to make it a little bit bigger. It's a little bit further up the ridge. You guys can kind of see when I do the pan down here is where actually the jankety plot is. We're just up from these main pines that come across, probably about a third of the way up the property. And we're trying to create that doe bedding and that east-west movement, emphasize that east-west movement with this. So hybrid popples going in and maintaining and utilizing some of the white pines that are already on the property. So I will start opening these holes up. Kathy's digging the holes, and then together we'll put the trees in and show you guys what the next project is here coming up. Stick around. Alrighty, well, we got, I think there's 13 trees in this particular one, and that's our 1, 2, 3, fourth habitat pocket. We're going to do one more up over in here. We're going to call that good. Reason for that is right here above us, I had put a line of white spruce in there, and they all seem to be doing pretty decently. It's actually behind our miscanthus, which is, I don't know, about 20 yards up from that. So miscanthus did really well last year. We're hoping for another good season on the miscanthus. And then our switch up above that, we got to run a switch that's 4 years old now up above. It came up pretty good after I mowed it again last year, so we'll be doing the same thing again this year to take care of our switch. We're also putting in more switch this year. Down below we'll show that to you guys also as a project. We're narrowing up some food plots to help create movement east-west. That'll be coming also, but we're going to move on to the next habitat pocket, and we will go from there. Stay around. Moved all those box elders up here, so I'm going to put this bedding spot basically right up in here. I'm going to utilize this honeysuckle over to this side. We've got some buckthorn, which was a rub right here also. But we're going to put that habitat pocket right in here, and I may do one more to the west further, which will be above this pine tree line. I'll do a pan to show you guys that. It'll actually help emphasize the movement too up and down the ridge, which is north-south. Because we do have the deer come out of the main point up above. There's a water hole back in there a couple 100 yards. It's actually where I shot Captain Hook this year, so that's a really good spot. We'll be help emphasize that transition and that movement too by utilizing this particular tree line north-south, and then our east-west movement, which is basically a third of the way up the ridge. So we're going to try and help emphasize that. So I'll show you guys what we got going on. Well, alrighty then. So habitat pockets are in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them, 3, 4, 5, 6 habitat pockets, 60 some trees in. We've got a bunch more trees down below here. We're going to actually put those along that tree line, see if we can get some popples to grow in there. Hopefully the switch and box elder and honeysuckle will kind of help protect them, let them come up a ways. We'll see what happens here with the deer nibbling on them. I'm hoping that they don't hit them too hard, but you never know. Currently there's not a lot of deer on the property because we don't have squat for food. The rye is coming up, so whatever rye is here and whatever deer are here are probably hitting that. So, but everything's starting to green up. It's actually Easter here in southern Wisconsin, so I'll show you guys what we're doing down here. And so what we're going to do, I'll show you guys a pan here. We're going to actually put the rest of the trees along this tree line here. just kind of help emphasize some deer movement along this particular area. Plan is transition, doe bedding right above it with the habitat pockets, buck bedding on the ridge up above that in the future here. So if the trees grow, we should be good. If not, we still have successional growth and everything inside of here. Goldenrod, honeysuckle, ragweed. There's some briars in here, so berry bushes, raspberries, blackberries, blackcaps. And we've got independent white pines spread out throughout here too. We have also put some spruce in that seem to be growing. It's just taking a while because they're competing against the grass. Grass gets to be 3 or 4 feet in the summer, so we'll see how it goes. Stick around. All right, well, we are into putting in spruce. Oh, there's a young one right here. Putting in, we got 10 white spruce that we got from the same place. You guys can see the height and everything of them. Pretty good looking trees. Pretty happy about that. Kathy's putting them in. So we'll kind of stitch these 10 in here to help emphasize this tree line. And we are done for today. Put in 100 hybrid popple and these 10 white spruce. Just up from where we're showing you guys the tree line currently is where the habitat pockets are. So hopefully doe bedding. Fairly close to where you guys can see we've got the jankety plot. This will help that transition. Bed to food, food to bed. Keeping the does close, giving space for the bucks. Property line's way up to the top of the ridge. Probably 325 to 400 yards, just by looking, I'm not sure. But somewhere in that range. So that'll leave plenty of space for the bucks to bed on the ridge. We've actually emphasized the bedding. You've seen Mike, Bob, and myself earlier this year emphasizing a little bit more of the bedding space, doing a little bit of hinging. Not too much, just did a couple trees, but a couple spots that were vital. We'll show you guys more of what's going on. Layouts on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. and the Obsession podcast on Saturdays at 7 a.m. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll see you on Wednesday.